Welcome to this video to show you how to help us post in Facebook groups for advertising our classes here at Chatterbox Academy. So I'm actually going to give you access to this spreadsheet, Facebook Groups for Marketing. And currently it only has a few groups listed, but I will ask you to help me add to this list. So this is going to include a little bit of research on your part. First, I'm going to get into my Facebook account. You can use your personal account if you have access to someone else's account and you have their permission, you can. It does not matter. So I'm going to show you how to find these groups and how to add them to the list here because I really would like you to add more to the list for me. That's part of this. And then I'm going to show you how to post in them. Okay, I don't know why we're still getting that annoying picture. Okay, so basically read through this and you can add columns that make sense to you. I just created this spreadsheet and thought it would be helpful for you, but you can add columns if you feel that you need to, okay? So we've got our name of our group, a link. Sometimes the link actually, like the actual name of the group becomes a link, like this one, so you might not need a separate link. I like to put in how often you can post. You can see I put IDK, I don't know, but some of the groups have rules, right? So you can put your rules here. We got to follow the rules in the groups or else we will get kicked out. So we'll have to keep track of this. And you might have to maybe put reminders on your calendar about when you can post where or what day you should be doing this, right? This will be what we're going to call an evergreen task. So this is something that probably once a week you should always be going in and making sure, hey, did I post in these Facebook groups? If you're allowed to post once a week. So this is something that we should always be doing. Posting in Facebook groups, again, is part of our marketing for our classes at Chatterbox Academy. On OutSchool, the website that we are currently using for most of our classes, OutSchool itself does a little bit of marketing for us, but to be very frank, it's not enough. I'm not happy with the amount that they do. I want more students in these classes, right? And so this is one of the many ways that we can attract new students to get into our classes. To be fair, it's not a lot. It's not a ton of students will come in. So I don't want you to spend hours and hours a week in Facebook groups. This should eventually become something that you can kind of just copy paste, do it real quick, maybe spend 30 minutes to an hour per week eventually, right? Maybe at first it'll take you a little bit longer, right? Because you have to find the groups, you have to figure out the rules, you got to take your notes. That's okay. But eventually, once you get used to it, this should be a pretty quick thing that you should just be able to do, right? You shouldn't have to be spending lots and lots of time. We're not going to get a ton of students from this, but we will get some. And especially as we just keep every week getting in there, if you're allowed to go in every week, we're allowed to get in and post, then we should be getting some, okay? All right, so that's your role in this. Let's just take a look here too. We've got our post. Sometimes I will actually write out a post for you, and sometimes I'll expect you to write out a post. You might want to write a post and then send it to me over on Slack. If we use Slack to communicate, which we probably do, send me the message and say, hey, I was thinking of using this in the post for the Facebook group for this particular class. What do you think? Let me check it. You know, especially if it's your first few times doing it. If you have experience doing this already and I've been approving what you're saying forever and I've already told you, hey, I trust you, just do it, then just listen to me. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, and then we've got our link to our class. This is the link to the class on OutSchool that you're advertising. That's actually not the right class. Huh, that's funny. I gotta change that. See what I mean? That's something else we want to check. Make sure it's right. So you see how this particular post, I'm following the rules in this particular group. This group has rules that says you have to be, you can't just drop a class link. You have to include the age range and description. That's the only reason I chose to do that here. I got the age range, the description of the class, some of the outcomes. Okay, and it turns out that's not even the right link. How do you know what the link is? I'll show you. Okay, it says full curriculum Spanish 1 for teens, twice a week. So you should have access to our OutSchool profile. And I don't know if it's going to look exactly the same for you, but let's go over to Manage Classes. And this is where we want to look through here. Our most popular class is this one, the middle and high school Spanish 1 class. That's twice a week. Now let's click on it. And then view class listing. And here's how you know it's the twice a week class, because sometimes the name changes. I do adjust the name for like SEO, search engine optimization. So you might have to look. You probably will see in this short little paragraph next to the picture and video where it says something about 2x a week, 2 times per week. But the part where you're definitely going to be able to see is over here. Under the price, you see where it says 2x per week. This is the right class, okay? So I'm going to just highlight this and copy it. This is the link. This is the link to the page that the parents will see. You don't want to give them like the link to this page. This is going to take them, they probably won't even be able to access this, right? This is the back end of Chatterbox Academy. This is not public. Okay, so I'm going to fix that. And you see how this says join us here. That's not right. I made that mistake. So let's fix that. Delete. Okay. And then come on over here and also link to class. Replace URL with its title. No, I'm going to delete it and give me a new one. Okay. Now I want to check. Always check to make sure the links are right. Okay. So let's just open and make sure. Is that the right class? I'm advertising Spanish 1, middle and high school Spanish 1, 2 times a week. That's the right class, okay? You might be advertising a different class, but that's this one. We always check the links and make sure they work. And also, of course, we're going to be checking to make sure the words are spelled correctly in our post. They make sense. And guess what? You know, I've said this in many videos. If you've seen any training videos from me, you'd already probably know what I'm going to say. Use ChatGPT. Yes, use ChatGPT. You can tell it, hey, I use it all. There's nothing wrong with this. Get into your ChatGPT, and I'm just going to make a new one. I might say, be specific. The more specific you are with ChatGPT, the better results, okay? I am advertising a beginner Spanish 1 class for teens in middle and high school. How do you know this? It's in the class description. The class description is this thing we were just looking at, right? So you might want to read this. You might even want to try. Let's try sending ChatGPT a link. I don't know if that will work, but we're going to give it a try. Okay. So I'm advertising a beginner Spanish 1 class for teens in middle and high school. I want to make a hooky, say hooky, because that's going to grab their attention. A hooky post in Facebook groups for potentially interested parents, maybe showcasing the benefits for them. This class meets, I'm being specific about this class, twice a week. And the teachers are in Mexico. This is a really thing. You could even copy this prompt, okay? Just swap out the kind of class. So make sure it makes sense, right? If you're writing a post about an advanced conversational Spanish class, don't write beginner Spanish 1 here, right? Write the kind that you want. Okay, this class meets twice a week and the teachers are in Mexico. I maybe say, please write the Facebook announcement. So it sounds, I don't know, enticing and is easily scannable and easy to read. Maybe include appropriate emojis where possible, especially as bullet points. I don't really like emojis like everywhere. And then I would say, here is a link to the class. I don't know if ChatGPT is going to be able to use that link, but might as well. I just posted it. Okay, let's see what it says. Remember, you can't always just take everything ChatGPT does. You'll need to double check it. You'll need to make sure it sounds good. You'll need to make sure it's right. You'll need to make sure it follows the group rules. But let's see what it does. Okay, this is kind of cool. Is your teen starting Spanish and feeling overwhelmed or bored? The Spanish class is designed to build real confidence from day one without pressure or busy work. Okay, I actually like this. Please read and make sure it makes sense, okay? Make sure the promises that it gives actually is what we're going to do. So yes, taught by teachers who live in Mexico. That's true. Good. Faster progress than a once-a-week class. Good. Built-in routine. Good. Okay, perfect for middle and high school students. Beginner friendly. That's true. This is a beginner class. Clear structure. Yes. No prior Spanish required. That's true. Okay. What parents love. Let's make sure this actually is true. Small class size and live interaction. Yep, that's true. Patient experienced teachers, speaking confidence, a calm, encouraging environment for teens, learning that feels useful and relevant. Good. This class helps teens build a strong foundation, strong Spanish foundation, feel confident speaking out loud, understand real world Mexican Spanish, stay engaged instead of feeling zoning out. Okay, class link and full details. If you're looking for a solid Spanish start with real teachers, real culture, and real progress, this is it. Okay, happy to answer questions in the comments. No, you don't want to be answering questions in the comments. So you might copy this and just leave that off. See what I mean? The amount of emojis I thought were really good. I don't love the MXMX, so I'm going to copy most of this and put it over here for you, okay? So let's actually save this so you don't have to keep rewriting stuff all the time, right? So get her in here. Get her in here. We're going to go, maybe even you could let's make, I have an idea. Make another sheet, and I'm going to rename this to Posts for Classes, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say class name, class link, and then potential post. Let's make that big. I personally, I hate tiny words on my, let's see, that's not going to do it. I hate tiny words. I just don't do this to me. Like, come on. Make it bigger, please. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Okay, so I'm just formatting the way that I like it. There's nothing special going on here. This is it. I like this. I like to freeze my first couple of rows. That way you can see it no matter how far down you scroll. So let's view more row actions. Freeze up to row 1. Okay, potential post. ChatGPT just wrote that for you. You don't need to keep rewriting it. Make this easier for yourself. Okay, so it says beginner Spanish for teens. Well, I know that it's actually Spanish 1 for teens. Maybe beginner Spanish for middle and high school. See, I'm editing what ChatGPT said based on what's actually legit. And then again, we don't want them to send us comments, right? So we're not going to say anything about comments. You're not going to need to respond to these comments. There is no reason to respond to comments. If somebody wants this class, they're going to go to OutSchool and they're going to click on this and they're going to contact me. You don't need to waste your time answering questions, and you might not even know. You might not even know, right, what the answers are. So don't even bother answering. Don't even bother answering. If they're interested, they'll contact us at Chatterbox Academy. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to say Spanish 1 for middle and high school. That's the general name of this class. This is the most popular class. This is the one you're mostly going to be advertising. Okay, so copy. This is just the link so you can find it. Okay. Okay, so we like that post. I think it's actually pretty good. And then when you get into your Facebook group, you can literally copy this and paste it into the Facebook group. So let's actually do that. I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to go Control A, Control C, that's select all, copy, and then let's go to a Facebook group. So I'm going to go over to, let's put in, I'm going to rename this to FB groups, okay? Okay, Facebook groups, posts for classes. You might even over here, let's say link to class. I'm going to add you a column that's going to say date last posted, okay? So we're going to keep track of when we actually post. We want this to be about once a week. Okay, what about classes taught in Spanish for kids? No. See, the rules on that one is only classes, let's scooch over. only classes taught in Spanish, not for beginners. Well, this class that I want to advertise is for beginners, so I can't do it in that group. Let's come on down. Middle and high school online classes. Okay, that sounds good. Let's go to that group and see what happens. Hopefully that works. It should work for me. You have to be in here actually on your account, right? That you join. You have to join these groups, right? Okay, so I've joined this group. Let's just check. I don't remember where the rules are, so you gotta find the rules. Make sure you know. Okay, members, no new posts today. Here we go. Check the group rules just to make sure. Minimum class age 11 years and up. Okay, that's really good to know. Teachers to post in designated threads only. Okay, all class promotions must be listed in the designated weekly threads and should include the age range and description. Okay, this particular group, we got to follow those rules. Well, that's okay. This class is for 12 years old and up. Okay, so let's go to discussion. We have to find the designated thread here. So let's see. Is there a designated thread? Classes beginning February, March 2026. Please remember to include age range and description. So for this group, we have to actually go to this post and actually comment. Okay, cool. So now I should be able to just paste. There you go. We want to actually, before I send it, I'm just going to make sure that works, okay? Make sure that link works. Make sure it's the right one. Remember, this class is for 11 years old and up only. Yep, ages 12 to 17. You can see the age over here. Good. I think I do have some times. Let's click schedule. I'm checking to see if there's any time starting. Look, February, good. So I do have some February and March dates starting. Okay, this looks good. We've already reviewed it. We like it. Let's go. It's sent. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to say date last posted. Just type in today's date because I just did this. So February 3rd. Okay, so that's what you can do. Now, how do you find groups? Because there's only like 3 here. We're going to go to groups. Search groups. You can start off with OutSchool. So this is your research, right? And then join anything that you can. Don't join any groups that say free and discounted classes. No, we don't care. I don't want any of these. So again, let me say that again. No free and discounted classes. We don't want that. I don't want people always asking for free classes. Okay, so two main rules here. Don't join any groups that say free classes. So I'm not worried about this one. I'm not worried about this one. I'm not really, nope. You see how this says for special education? I'm not a special education teacher, so we have to pay attention. We have to know what we're doing here. OutSchool online learning community? Maybe. So you're going to have to click on it and see. Let's take a look. Read it and it says, focused on finding OutSchool class recommendations from parents and educators. Whether you're new to the community or returning member, this space is exclusively for caregivers who are 18 plus, and above all members who expected to follow the community rules. Okay, so this is not really clear. Okay, let me see. I'm going to try it. See, I don't know. Okay, see what this says? Educators can only share classes when asked. This is not going to be helpful. This is not going to be helpful, right? So you might have to dig a little bit to see if the group's even going to be good. Because, like, if they're not allowed, I'm not allowed to post about my classes, this is useless for me, okay? So we don't care. So this is what I mean when I say finding the groups might be challenging, but let's see, okay? So let's see, maybe OutSchool online. We already did that one. OutSchool enrichment classes. If it has only, look, it has really tiny amount of members. I don't know if that's worth it. 56 members, only 56 people are going to see your post. I don't know. This says free, new classes, and low enrollment classes. Might be worth it even though it says free. But I don't know. It has a lot of people. Yeah, free or discounted classes, no. If it's a teacher hub, no. You see what I mean? If it has a small amount of members, like under 1,000 members, might not be worth your time. This one might be good. Outschool class advertising and discounts. It's okay if it says discounts. I'm actually a member, see? Online class discounts, that might be worth joining, even if it doesn't say Outschool, if it says online class. So you might have to scroll through and do your homework to figure out what might be worth it. That's the point, okay? That's it. Also, don't just type Outschool. Try out maybe, I don't know, online classes for kids or teens. So I'm just showing you how to research to find groups that you might want to join. Okay, there's the Outschool online learning community, online classes for school students. Look at that, 31,000 members. Let's check that one out. Oh, they let me in there right away. Okay, that's good. So click on it. No recommendations, huh? Look, it says this group is for teachers to advertise the online classes they conduct or plan to conduct for school students. This sounds good. Okay, so let's take this group, copy. I think I can do this, right? Copy link address. Let's see if this is the right one. Maybe? No. Okay. Over here, I actually want to put the name of it, so it's called Online Classes for School Students. It doesn't say anything about Outschool. I don't care. I don't care. It's good, right? Okay. You see what I mean? That also made it into a link. It should just take you right in. It does. Excellent. Excellent. This one seems very easy. Okay, so you might want to check out the rules, but you can do the same thing. You can post your classes. Again, don't bother with responding to messages. Now, there is a red flag right away, okay? If you see, now I know this is going to sound really bad, but please hear me out. If you see a lot of posts, you see how this is looking like something from East Asia? Something from East Asia? Okay, I'm going to be very honest with you. If you're seeing a lot of things from like East Asia, India, or um, Egypt, those are places where people often are not going to want to pay for classes, okay? So if you look through and you see the group is all that, you might not even want to bother, honestly. It might be a waste of your time. Sure, it doesn't hurt to post. It doesn't hurt to post. But remember, you're not answering questions. You're just posting. If they really want the class, they'll come in and they'll work with us, okay? Okay, so that's it. That's it. So I hope that helps. So again, you should be going through once a week, not more than that, once a week. And we want to have a nice list, really. I'd like to have a nice long list of Facebook groups where we can post regularly. We got to make sure we follow the rules. Sometimes you might have to remember that, oh, this is only for classes where kids are 11 years old and up. Oh, this is a group that's for classes for this or that. For now, we can really stick to the Spanish one for middle and high school class. But as we go, I might work with ChatGPT to write a new post. You might be able to work with ChatGPT to write a post, right? This is really just showing you what's possible. And as we go, I'm going to get more and more hands off, and I'm going to let you just take the reins on this. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you to get started this week on Facebook groups. Remember, I really don't want you spending more than like an hour on this, okay? So please don't invest like 4 hours. It's not worth that much. But it's a great way to kick us off, to get us started advertising in Facebook groups, to get more students finding our classes. Okay, thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can comment on this video, but also you can message me over on Slack, okay? Thank you.